Islamic nation to kick out US forces? America on verge of losing its biggest base in the Middle East? You are just a tenant. The stunning warning rippling through Washington. Qatar's unexpected warning to Trump after forcing him to leave Mission Iran. Rare Muslim unity against US or just an eyewash? Al-Udeid Air Base, the nerve center of US power projection in the region, is at the center of the storm. If reports are to be believed, Qatar has warned the United States. In a blunt warning, a senior member of Qatar's ruling family said that American forces are just a tenant at Al-Udeid Air Base, as per Defense Security Asia report. The warning came from Khalid bin Jassim Al Thani, who is a prominent member of Qatar's ruling family closely associated with foreign affairs discourse. The unusual and blunt geopolitical warning by Al Thani reframed the US military presence at Al-Udeid Air Base as conditional, transactional, and subject to Qatari sovereignty rather than American entitlement. He further said, if Qatar decides to dismantle the American base on its territory, it would not harm us much, but for you it would amount to cutting off one of your hands in the Middle East, a phrase that struck at the operational heart of US Central Command's forward posture. But Khalid bin Jassim Al Thani's warning uniquely destabilized Qatar and not the United States, since Doha has financed much of Al-Udeid's construction and expansion, investing several billion US dollars into infrastructure designed primarily for American strategic benefit. The remarks also reflect frustration over America's mixed signals. Qatar is officially designated a major non-NATO ally, yet repeatedly criticized by Washington over alleged ties to Hamas, even as Doha plays a central role in mediation, hostage talks, and back-channel diplomacy, an ally and a target of suspicion. The timing is critical. These remarks emerged precisely as the United States and United Kingdom quietly relocated non-essential personnel from Al-Udeid amid rising tensions with Iran. The base is in the crosshairs of US strategic decisions. It involuntarily draws into escalation dynamics given its location. The base sits directly across the Persian Gulf from Iranian territory, placing it squarely in any future escalation. Now the big question is Washington being forced to rethink its footprint? Is Doha asserting leverage in a volatile region? And could this signal a rare alignment among Muslim nations?
The world stood on the edge of another Middle East war, and then suddenly, it didn't happen. A US strike on Iran was widely reported as imminent. Threats were flying and military options were openly discussed. But at the last moment, President Donald Trump pulled back, claiming the decision was his alone. Now Tehran is firing back with fury, accusing Washington of plotting to swallow Iran itself. For days, the signal from Washington was unmistakable. Military action against Iran was openly discussed as unrest ripped through Iranian cities and security forces cracked down with deadly force. Reuters reported a US strike was imminent and regional allies braced for impact. Then came the reversal. Asked directly whether foreign leaders intervened, Trump rejected the premise outright. He said no Arab state, no Israeli official, no ally changed his mind. He did. The trigger, Trump said, was Iran's sudden decision to halt mass executions of detained protesters. Hundreds of hangings allegedly planned, then abruptly canceled.
Did Arab and Israeli officials convince you to not strike Iran?
Nobody convinced me. I convinced myself. You had yesterday scheduled over 800 hangings. They didn't hang anyone. They canceled the hangings. That had a big impact.
The unrest inside Iran has been relentless. What began as protests over economic hardship spiraled into nationwide anti-government demonstrations. Activist groups say hundreds have been killed, thousands detained, and information throttled as the government cut internet access across the country. Trump publicly told protesters help is on its way, but the missiles never came. Iran's supreme leader did not welcome restraint with gratitude. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei accused the United States of orchestrating the unrest itself, calling it an American sedition, not a spontaneous uprising. He said Washington's goal was not reform, but domination, accusing the US of seeking to swallow Iran entirely. Khamenei went further, calling the US president a criminal, blaming Washington for casualties, destruction, and what he called slander against the Iranian nation. He framed the crisis not as Trump's policy, but as a permanent American strategy, regardless of who occupies the White House.
My lord, no God but Allah. Firstly, what is the nature of this sedition, the American sedition?
Planning things out, taking action. The goal of the Americans, let me quickly interject here, based on my extensive experience and several years spent within the Islamic Republic, I must state this clearly. America's ultimate goal is to completely devour Iran. There is no God but Allah. There is no God but Allah. There is no God but Allah. From the very beginning of the revolution until this very day, the oppressive dominance that they had maintained over our country, by the hands of the people, by the hands of the youth, by the hands of all segments of the people throughout the entire nation, under the leadership of the great Imam, this dominance was completely eradicated. From the very beginning, they've been planning to bring this back. They have once again placed Iran under their military, political, and economic domination. This objective isn't about the current U.S. president, mind you. It's not about the person who is president right now. This is about American policy.
This is America's policy. A country possessing these particular characteristics situated in such a critical geographical location, with all these facilities available, with such a vast expanse, and with this huge population.
They are simply unable to tolerate such a country with this kind of progress. The progress that is being made scientifically and technologically in various sectors.
This is not tolerable for an American.
We consider the President of the United States to be a criminal, both for the casualties and for the damages.
Also because of the insult he dealt to the Iranian nation.
We strongly advise you to retreat immediately. Do not advance a single step beyond this point. If we really get going, we won't have any discussion about ceasefires and such. We are telling you quite frankly right now, these blows you have struck, these extensive damages you have caused over the past 50 years, all the decency and considerable patience we have shown, you are simply not paying any attention to it. If we were to once again find ourselves in that era of the holy defense, specifically the war from its second year onward, then you can be absolutely certain that very serious problems will emerge for you. You must stop right here, turn back. The Iranian nation is a highly discerning and noble people, not seeking war. But if it reaches a point where it becomes necessary to finish the task and other events unfold, we will still preserve our brotherhood and friendship with Saudi Arabia, with the Emirates, with Bahrain, with Qatar, with Turkey, and with Iraq. But no base of yours in these countries will ever be safe. They don't seem to realize that Iran is just like Russia's snow. The further Trump pushes forward, the worse his situation becomes. If he had only stepped aside after that 12-day war, he would have truly understood the real depth of this whole incident.